The matter of choosing to have an abortion or not is a very private matter that should be decided by the mother, whose responsibility it would be to carry the pregnancy to term. A blanket set of laws do these women no justice when deciding what they can and cannot do with their own self. These laws have been unable to adequately address the issue of rape, incest, and personal opinion.
The very notion of anti-abortion laws create a divide down party lines and encourages religious nationalism among their followers. From the libertarian perspective of liberty, this is a privacy issue that should not be in the hands of the government. The United States has an abysmal record when dealing with issues including a woman's body, and this is no different. We are not looking to change your mind on the mortality of abortion, but to point out that mortality should not be left up to the government, and it's a liberty that we must hold dear.
Taking a step back, the year was 1965. The case of Griswold v. Connecticut paved the way for married couples to legally access contraception. This was only the beginning.
The United States has been attempting to dictate what men and women do in the privacy of their homes for some time. The Griswold case led us to Roe v. Wade in 1971. The Supreme Court ruled 7-2 and determined that women have the right to an abortion, a win for citizens who prioritize the right to privacy. The right to privacy is protected under the Privacy Clause of the Due Process Clause.
In the case Lawrence v. Texas, stated, these matters involving the most intimate and personal choices a person may make in a lifetime, choices central to personal dignity and autonomy, are central to the liberty protected under the 14th Amendment. At the heart of liberty is the right to define one's own concept of existence, of meaning, of the universe, and of the mystery of human life. The petitioners are entitled to respect for their private lives. The state cannot demean their existence or control their destiny by making their private sexual conduct a crime. Their right to liberty under the Due Process Clause gives them the full right to engage in their conduct without intervention of the government. It is a promise of the Constitution that there is a realm of personal liberty which the government may not enter.
Today's video is about a woman's rights to privacy and access to abortion. This is a matter of Republican, liberal, and libertarian liberty. Under Republican liberty, government power is reduced and allows for no domination over people to occur. Liberal liberty has been seen in cases of Roe v. Wade, Griswold v. Connecticut, and Lawrence v. Texas. Lastly, under libertarian liberty, each person has ownership over their own body and no one should impose laws that grant them self-government. This is an issue of liberty and a fundamental part of our nation's legal system.
The following states have imposed anti-abortion laws as of 2019. Alabama, Arkansas, Georgia, Indiana, Kentucky, Louisiana, Mississippi, Missouri, North Dakota, Ohio, and Utah. This fundamentally opposes the merit created by Roe v. Wade, as these states are ignoring the 14th Amendment Due Process Clause. Although there are many disagreements with abortion, we believe the right to privacy is a right that we cannot live without. We ask you not to look at this through the lens of mortality, but through the lens of liberty. As Americans, we do not have to agree with everything one another does, but we must respect everyone's rights to privacy. Impeding on this right has disastrous consequences. We must not allow the government to take away these rights that mean so much to every single American.
Under the libertarian liberty of point of view, living in a country where freedom of religion is stated within the very First Amendment, this is not without reason, and we should not force such legislation on the diverse population that we have today. We are not saying that one cannot practice their own beliefs and condone the actions of others, but we must protect others who choose to follow their own moral guide. This is important for us to recognize that we are not all alike and that it is not a hindrance, but a good thing. It's good that we have a nation can live in the same land and be able to carry out our lives in a country that values individual liberties.
Our stance on abortion is clear. It is a personal decision between a woman and her doctor. At the same time, we do understand that after 6 weeks, an embryo has a heartbeat, and some may consider this to be murder. We understand religious and moral feelings toward this delicate issue, but we stand behind women who choose to have an abortion within their first trimester. We have seen what the above states are willing to do in the name of justice, and it is anything but that. We must not lose sight of what this is about, privacy being an integral component of liberty.
In this book, Capitalism and Freedom, Milton Friedman states, Concentrated power is not rendered harmless by the good intentions of those who create it, meaning that these lawmakers may have their own voters in mind when creating and passing legislation, but they are also harming others that do not fit within the zeitgeist. Therefore, this should be a matter of choosing or not to utilize abortion, not legalization imposing one will over the other. Another quote in Capitalism and Freedom by Milton Friedman, freedom is a rare and delicate plant, meaning freedom is easily extinguished. Overall, everyone should take care of freedom as if they were taking care of a plant. To extinguish someone else's freedom does not inherently grant another more freedom. It simply results in less freedom. However, if we all focus on improving the freedoms of ourselves and one another, we create a symbiosis of respect and understanding both locally and globally.
Thank you.